Seconds. Yep, we are here. Hard Rocket Sports on a special edition show. We had some major breaking news today, and my co-host and good friend decided that it was worthy of a special edition show. So, Jeff, I'm going to turn it over to you in a second. But how's your day, my friend?
It was all right. It is what it is. Ooh, oh no. Well, we can't look at that no more.
Okay.
That's not allowed. See what it says right there? See, right there. Tommy's all about himself. I'm sticking up for Redskin Nation right now.
Well, you know what? I'm going to play a little something to start the show here. Hard Rockets Watch. It's a Monday night. We're going to do a little maybe a half hour, 45 minutes, an hour on the changing of the Redskin name and the bowing to PC culture, the cancel culture, which we don't do here. I will tell you in a second. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to play a little something to start the show. So hang in, everybody.
Hail to the Redskins, hail victory. Brave on the warpath, fight for all we see. Run or pass and score, we won the line for. Beat them, swamp them, touch them at the point soar. Fight on, till you have won, sons of Washington. Rock, 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 hail to the Redskins.
Jeff, a little hail to the Redskins to start off the show as we begin a special edition on Thursday on a Monday night.
That might have been the worst song I ever heard in my fucking life.
I got a feeling it was written.
That is the Raiders song.
I think that was written about 87 years ago.
Yeah.
Rah, 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 all that good stuff. So,
yeah. Who the fuck says that kind of shit anymore, man?
Well, and who says Redskins anymore? I'll tell you officially, folks. Anybody who's out there listening, and welcome aboard. I see Billy Graz.
They will forever be the Washington Redskins in my book.
In this show, for sure.
The thing that people don't understand, and this is the thing that got me so fucking pissed off. 3 months ago, I understand there's a pandemic and everything else. But 3 months ago, they shut down the country in a matter of a fucking week. Yep. Okay? Life changed on a dime for everybody in the entire country. Okay? It's only gotten worse since then. Just when you think it can't get any worse, it continues to get worse. If they're going to start changing the names of sports teams, to me, this is a rudderless country right now at this point in time. Nobody is looking out for anything at this point in time. It's disgusting. It's absolutely disgusting. Yeah. You let anybody that comes up with an issue, you're like, okay, go ahead, let's change that. Go ahead, let's change this. Go ahead, let's do that.
Yeah.
It's fucking disgusting. Disgusting.
Yeah. Again, you know what? Let's say we want to turn the blind eye to this, and everybody out there, I'll put up your posts. If anybody wants to join in, let me know. I'll send you a message. You're more than welcome to join in. But Jeff and I thought we'd tape a show here, do a few minutes to kind of catch up with what everybody's thoughts for today are. So please let us know what your thoughts are on the change of the Redskin nickname. We don't know what it's going to be yet. There's been a bunch of stuff out there, tail gunners and
what's great?
Red tails.
Some fucking guy in DC started to fucking do patent all of them or whatever it is.
Yeah, he trademarked all the names. Yeah, monuments.
Fucking awesome. Oh, by the way, I just want to say real quick, my nephew, that little prick.
Yep.
He's watching. I see you. Okay. 270 days. He'll know what it means. 270 days banned. I'm not even going to tell him what it means. Well, I'm not going to say what it means. I'm not going to embarrass him yet. When the night's over, I want to know how long he stays on for. But 270 days.
Well, we'll find out. But guys, let us know what you think. If you got an idea what the name's going to be, what you think the name should be. Billy Graz came up with the Washington Transmissions. I don't think that's going to go. But
the trannies of DC. How about that?
But here's the thing. I'm going to say right from the get go. From this point on, Greg Towinski Jr. just threw up a couple of emojis for his uncle. I don't know what it all means. So a little bit of the laughing so hard he's crying.
Yeah. All right, he's going
you
to be crying when he's doing his 270-day ban.
I personally will never refer to them to anything but either the Redskins or Washington. I will never, ever, ever allow anybody on this show, and I don't ban anybody from anything, but I will never let any guest come on here and call them anything but Washington or the Redskins because I don't really care what they call it.
What fucking role does Ron Rivera play in all of this? Excuse me. You haven't even been on the fucking sideline for a second of live Redskin action, and here you are spearheading the charge to fucking change the name. Why didn't Daniel Snyder turn around and say, you know what? I don't like the direction you're taking this team. Goodbye.
Money, Jeff. It's strictly money. This has nothing to do with Ron Rivera. This has nothing to do with anybody.
Ron Rivera's team. Do you go on AOL at all on your
course.
computer? Okay. When you get off the show, okay, just click through. You know, they get little arrows.
I did. I read the story.
Arrows, okay. You don't have to read the article. Every single article about the Redskins has either a picture of Ron Rivera or his name in it. Okay, like on that homepage for AOL.
Yeah, sure.
I don't understand it. This is a guy. You're talking about a team that had that name for 87 years. Okay, this guy hasn't even been the coach for 87 days. What does he have to say?
This has nothing to do with that, Jeff. I'm gonna beg to differ with you. I think Ron Rivera is jumping on board with this, but he took the job as the Washington Redskin coach long before they decided to do this.
I understand that, but my point being is that where does he get the fucking right to say anything?
He doesn't. But here's the bottom line: FedEx, Pepsi, and somebody else all said they were going to pull their names and pull their advertising, and that scared the crap out of Daniel Snyder.
Yes,
and that's the bottom line.
A couple stores also said that they weren't going to carry. I think
Nike stopped selling Washington Redskins stuff. So I mean, I get. Here's the problem I have though. Now they're turning their attention to the Chiefs, the Braves, and the Indians. And I'm saying to myself, why? What are wrong? If you want to say the Redskins, okay, it's a derogatory name. I don't see it. Nobody else seems to be bothered by it, but a bunch of white guys in a corporate office. What's wrong with the Indians, the Chiefs, and the Braves?
They're fucking getting on the fucking ban before it happens. You got to remember, in today's day and age, you go on Facebook, everybody's posting political bullshit because everybody wants to be the one to break the news.
Yes.
Now, everybody's going to be jumping on this shit. They're going to be like, well, you know, I said just right after the Redskins, the Indians should change their names. That's not right. And the Chiefs, the only one that might be taking in a derogatory stance could possibly be the Atlanta Braves, who already said that they weren't changing their name. And they shouldn't.
I agree. Okay? I agree. I you know what? I haven't seen it yet, and I haven't really spent a lot of time today. I've been really busy. I want to see what with Redskin Nation has to say about this, because there have been some plays, including their current quarterback Haskins, who said no matter what happens, they'll always be known as the Washington Redskins to him.
Well, they should be known as the Washington Redskins to him and to everybody else. You're not talking about a team, the Carolina Panthers or Jacksonville Jaguars, that came in the league 20, 25 years ago. You're talking about a team that's been here for almost 90 years.
Yeah.
90 years, probably since the start of the NFL. You know, this is a team that has played in several Super Bowls, has a lot of history, a long storied history.
Yeah.
And you're just going to let the name slide by because somebody said, are you fucking kidding me?
Yeah.
That's too much for me, man.
Listen, I'm not arguing with you on it. I wholeheartedly agree with you. You know, it's just crazy that, yes. Hold on. Somebody's, yes.
You know what? What they should rename the team for?
What?
They should just turn around and just call it Washington. Fuck you. I'm not taking.
Well, you know what, Jeff? Washington. You know what? That's not terrible, because you know there's a lot of the leftist the libertards, as I call them, the libertards, who the last few years will not use the word Redskins. They'll only call them Washington. The Daily News, a lot of the TV guys won't refer to them as the Redskins. They won't call. So you know what? Just call them Washington now. So as far as I'm concerned, when we're on this show, if you want to refer to them as the Redskins or Washington, then I'm good with that. That's the way I look at it. I'm tired. I'm fed up with it.
I would go public if I was Daniel Snyder, if he has anything left in his little testy satchel, okay? And I would turn around and be like, the new nickname on my team is Washington. That's it. I'm not fucking putting a nickname on my team. I'm not doing it. Okay, and then you know what I would do with my fucking helmet? I'd
What
make
would
it
you
a
do?
fucking Chiefs headdress. That's what I would make. Put
Well,
feathers, I'd make it a
here's
Chiefs
the sad
headdress.
part. Because of this trademark problem, um, because of the trademark problem that they have it, they could actually enter the season with with no nickname.
Yeah, well, that's fine. I would leave it in Washington and no nickname. And did you know the last team that willingly changed its name? Okay, they're being forced to change the name. That
Yes.
was willingly changed their name. Took them 2 years to clear up and get all their merchandise and everything off the market.
Mm-hmm.
It's not just something that like, okay, we're changing our name now.
Yeah.
Then they're looking to do this in months. Months.
Yeah.
It's impossible. It's going to be impossible.
Technically a week. They're looking for weeks to try to get this turned around and over with. But Jeff, here's the problem: you have an 87-year history. All your, uh, all of your merchandise. Which, by the way, I'm gonna go out and make sure I buy some Redskin stuff with the current because I refuse to buy anything in the
Yeah,
new
well,
stuff.
guess
Obviously.
what? Good luck finding it. It's probably already off the shelves.
Yeah, you're probably 100% right. But listen, here's the thing. I hope that Redskin Nation turns their backs on the team. I hope that there's enough people, who are steeped in the tradition. Like, let me tell you, if the Giants tried to change their name for some reason, I would be pissed off. The one team I worry about is the Yankees. Not that I think the Yankees would do it, but I think that's going to be down the line. Somebody's going to pull that up and try to make the Yankees change their names.
I'm fucking telling you. You mark my words. It's going to happen. I'm not saying they're going to change their name either. Don't get me wrong. Somebody is going to turn around and say, I find that name offensive.
Yeah.
Find that name offensive. And God forbid that happens. God forbid. That would be absolutely fucking ludicrous.
Oh, yeah, no. I would tell you this.
I would say about that.
If it happened, I'll tell you flat out. If it ever got to that point, I would be officially done with sports. I would be done. You would not catch me watching one single sport moving forward. I would watch nothing but old sports if I watched it at all.
I couldn't even fucking bother. I really couldn't even bother. The New York Giants.
Yeah.
Let's talk about the New York Giants real quick. Their name. Okay? Sure. It's not a flashy name.
No.
By far. It's not like, the Jaguars, the Ravens, any football name, any baseball name, because it's the San Francisco Giants. But the New York Giants, okay, rather a dull name, I think. Okay? Their uniform, it's not the flashiest of uniforms, but it's a classic uniform. Red, white, and blue. Country's colors, this, that, and the other thing. I would never advocate to change the name of the New York Giants. But if they turned around and they came out and be like, you know what? We feel as though that the name is a little outdated. We want to come up with something a little bit different, a little bit, whatever. We want to separate ourselves from the New York Jets. Okay, maybe depending on how they approached it, would maybe make me feel differently about it. But right now, right off the bat, I would be like, there's no way that I could actually take them changing their name for no good reason at all. You know what I mean? Like, so to me, same thing with the Redskins. Like, this is not a good. Are you kidding me? And now I was watching TV earlier. All of these Indians, women, I might add, not that there's anything wrong with women's opinions, but these women who probably don't know nothing about football are like all of a sudden, this is shouldn't be. It's derogatory. It'd be like, they weren't 18-year-old women either. These were older women, some of these, like closer to our age. Now it's all of a sudden derogatory. Where was all the Native Americans? Where were they protesting for years? And are you kidding me?
No, I told you. I've looked this up. There are polls and studies that have been done, and there has been little to no problem from the Indian nation itself regarding the nickname. In fact, a lot of people think that this is a show of strength. Now, regardless of what it was and is, I don't think anybody has been offended by it. So now it's just some corporate libertard up in his office decided today that this is it. We need to pander to this cancel culture, and people are buying into it. Now, I'm telling you right now, people out there are starting to push back. You're starting to see protests the opposite way. The problem is the newspapers aren't showing it, but people are pushing back. And I'm going to tell the same thing. I've said this 10 times. We're going to pick a week. We got to do it. We got to find a big voice and we got to shut the NFL down for a week. We got to make sure that every one of us sits home and doesn't pay attention to the NFL for 1 week and show them if you keep it up, you're going to lose us. And we're the ones that, and I'm not talking white people. I'm talking about the middle class of this country, the un-PC, the people who don't believe.
I think that's already in the process of happening between all of the political correctness, between Kaepernick, between the Black Anthem, between all of this stuff that has happened in the last couple of weeks. You can't tell me that the NFL's viewership is going to be as strong.
No, it's definitely not
here at this time.
Oh no, definitely not. You're 100% right.
I will always follow football.
Yeah,
I don't give a fuck. I've caught some heat from it on Facebook and from some friends. Mm-hmm. Lick my balls. I'm always going to follow football, but I don't have to fucking watch it. I could read about it in the paper and follow it through the paper and on websites. I do not have to sit and watch a football game.
No, I agree. Listen, I agree.
You could follow about. I don't go to games. I haven't been to a football game in probably close to 15 years as it is. So I'm not missing. I don't have season tickets or whatever. Yeah. You know, once in a while, I stopped getting football jerseys because whenever my wife would get me a football jersey, that was the kiss of death. Last one I got was a Muhammad Wilkerson jersey.
Oh boy!
We see how well that went. My Dominic Sue jersey, my Brett Favre jersey, my Pennington jersey. They're all in the closet right over here.
Hey, thanks for everybody paying attention. See Anthony Carey, Bill Graziano, Allison for Jeff's cousin Allison, Paul Gill's out there. Big Lou Pika just popped up. What's up, Lou? But guys, we're just fed up, and we talked about it today, and then Jeff broached the idea about doing a quick show. And while this would have been a great topic for Thursday night,
we could still touch it Thursday night. I just feel as though that there's so much to talk about with it that I didn't want to wait till Thursday night. I really didn't.
Yeah, no. Here's the thing. So for years now, at least the last 2, maybe 3 years, certain newspapers, certain NFL personnel would not refer to the Redskins, to Washington team as the Redskins. They would only say Washington. Well, let's turn it back on them. I don't care what they name it. Now they're pushing to do it. The Tuskegee Airmen. They want to honor them. You know what? I could care less.
Wait, hold up. They want to name the Washington Redskins the Tuskegee.
No, they wanted the Red Tails or something. The Tuskegee Airmen had a nickname and had something. I can't find it on Bleacher Report. I saw it earlier today.
Tuskegee Airmen was their nickname. You know that.
No, right? It was something else. And hopefully, if somebody's out there and you know the story, please put it up. It was on the NewYorkPost.com today. I read it, but they wanted to look at that. Yeah, you got to look at it. It wasn't a regular post because I have the post, but I read it on NewYorkPost.com today. And one of them has to do with the Tuskegee Airmen, a nickname for them. And, listen, guys, whatever. At this point, I don't care what they name it. I ain't going to use it. I don't care. Call it the Washington Trumps. I won't use it.
I can tell you this much right now, and nobody's saying this and nobody's realizing it, okay? Everybody says that the white people are the majority in this country. Guess what? We just became the minority. Because now all of the minorities are going to start joining together. And that's fine. They should have all been recognized in the first place and treated as people. You know what I mean? Not as objects or anything of that nature. But they're going to end up, if they name the Redskins after the Tuskegee Airmen, which I don't have a problem with. If you read about the Tuskegee Airmen, really interesting stuff about
great pilots.
Great stories. Okay. Yeah. But I don't see the need to name a franchise after them when you're taking it away from naming it all these teams after Indians. What's next? The Washington George Floyds? You know what I mean? Should we start naming them after fallen people?
Yeah, well, listen, that's a whole different category. But, there was a couple actually today. Let's see. No. There was a couple actually. They had a couple names. The only one that I actually said, you know what? I'm trying to just find it was the Washington Monuments, which I thought was a decent name if you were going to pick it. I thought that was a decent name for a football team. But, I'm not referring to it. I won't play into it.
I know that the Washington Sentinels, I believe.
Yeah, no, that wasn't even on there. I'm trying to find it now. I'm actually on NewYorkPost.com as we speak, and I'm trying to find the name, but it's not popping up on my screen.
I mean, this isn't my pick, but if any of these, did they use the term Washington Generals Like,
I didn't see that either. Okay, the Red Tails. That's it. Billy Grass here. The Red Tails were a group of Tuskegee Airmen, all black fighter pilots during the World War II, before the legal desegregation of the military, who painted the backs of their planes. Their story is told in 2012. So the Red Tails were a group of the Tuskegee Airmen. So
all right, so we're going to take it away from one group of culture and name it after a completely different group.
I guess so.
That's not right.
Yeah, I guess
that's not right. Now, can I say this? Should I say this?
I don't know if you should say it, Jeff. If you're even questioning it, I'm going to tell you you probably shouldn't change it. Okay, here's some of the names: Red Wolves, the Washington Monuments, the Washington Veterans, Red Tails, Freedom Fighters, the War Hogs, Red-tailed Hawks.
Wait, Warthogs?
War Hogs.
War Hogs?
Yeah, now this is the trademark. This is the guy who had the trademarks done. So he, let's see, statement from Washington. As a kid, grew up in the DMV, it'll always be hailed to the Redskins. I can't, let's see, I'm trying to find the official.
That'd be funny if he spent all of this money on trademarks and ends up there like, we weren't going to take any of those and come out with something out of left field.
Yeah, well, it would not surprise me. Again,
Washington cherry blossoms or something.
Yeah, I can't seem to find it. There was an article today somewhere where it kind of gave some names, but again, none of this came from the Redskins themselves. So we have no idea what they're actually trying. But that there's been some names floated around, and this guy's a realtor from Washington D.C., and he went out ahead of everything and snatched all these trademarks. So obviously, there's one or two of them that the Redskins wanted to use because they're stuck now.
If they use the Red Tails,
then
I want to see the influx of black players that are going to try to make a mass exodus to Washington.
Listen, they still suck. So ain't nobody exiting this to go there. They still suck.
But if all of a sudden, if they bend over backwards, which they're in the process of doing, erase the name the Redskins, and then they name it after something in black culture. Okay, whether it's something from World War II, present day, whatever it is. Okay, I just want to see if now all of a sudden there's going to be a bunch of black players that are going to look to go there and play there, and then just be like, "This is where I want to be." If they're going to recognize our people, my people, this is where I want to be. This is where I want to play.
Listen, could it affect it? I still think it comes down to money and winning. Again, I don't think anybody has a problem. Again, I'll say it. It's the libertards in the white lily white guys sitting up in their office, in some place, and goes, "All right, we gotta do the right thing here." What's the right thing? Nobody's been asking for it. Leave it alone, but what we pander. And guys, listen, there's nothing we can do. I just refuse to acknowledge it going forward. I will call them the Redskins or Washington or something sort of that. I will not use their new nickname.
No, I can't see myself using that either and saying that either. It's just disgusting. It just goes to show, and this is where the people need to realize it's a sports team. In the grand scheme of life, it's really not that important.
Nope.
But what is important is how fast all of this change is happening and how it's happening everywhere. And everything that's going on nowadays, once it starts to irritate somebody, that's it. Needs to be changed. Can't be this way. This group is going to get insulted, or that group's going to get insulted. We need to change this. We need to change that. It's going to be disgusting. There is going to be nothing left of history, old-time history. They're going to get rid of all of it. All of it.
Listen, I agree. I think there is a pushback. If you follow Facebook, if you watch some of the stuff that does leak out, there's a lot of pushback from people now. So I think it's starting to die out a little bit. But if we don't stand up to things like this, and I'm surprised that Daniel Snyder, I would have thought if any owner would have stood up to the FedEx and Pepsi, I thought it would have been Daniel Snyder. I got to tell you, I had a lot of respect for the guy. I still do. I think he got dragged into the middle. He got backed into a corner. I think the NFL put a lot of pressure on him, and I think he caved. And who I don't have any respect for is his coach. You took the job as a Washington Red. You should have turned it down if you were that insulted by it. He should have turned down the job when it was offered, Jeff.
Oh yeah, 100%, and that's a good point. That's an excellent point that you're bringing up. That's what you signed on to do, and everything else. And you're mentioning these big corporation names, Tom.
Yeah.
For all you know, maybe they turn around and say, you know what? You change that name, we renegotiate our contract. Maybe you get an extra $50 million out of it, or whatever number they throw at him. You don't know.
Yeah.
Know for sure. And he may turn around and say, like, okay, not for nothing, the Washington Redskins defense might just be one of the best defenses in the league this year with some of the talent that they have on that team.
Yeah.
Is now the time that Daniel Snyder really wants to, cause a ripple in the pond and just be like, I'm not changing the name. Like, maybe if for him it's worth it to just say, you know what, fuck it. I'm already losing money because of COVID-19 and the pandemic, that we're not going to have full stadiums and everything else.
Mm-hmm.
Sir, Jeff. Oh, that's right. I did not call you by your Indian name, did I?
No, you have not called me by my Indian name.
All right. Well, then it is time to unveil it. As long as you're going to be a Redskin supporter for life, right?
Yeah. Okay.
Chief Butt Cutlets. Chief Running Butt Cutlets.
Yes, I'm not even going to acknowledge that.
You don't have to.
Yes, I got you. Guys, I hope you're out there listening. Listen, as much as I hate the Cowboys and get sick when they show Jerry Jones his legs, he might be the only one on. Yeah, I agree.
Here's something. Your division right now, okay? Yeah. You just said it. The Cowboys.
Mm-hmm.
Do they change the Cowboys? Because
Cowboys
is synonymous with Cowboys and Indians. There's no fucking Indians.
Well, let's put it this way. Cowboys are synonymous with killing Indians. So now did we get rid of the Cowboys name? That's a great point. Where does it end, guys? That's what we're asking you guys. You're all out there listening. Where does this all come to an end? When does it stop? When do we push back and say enough's enough? And I think Jerry Jones, Louis brought up a good point. I think Jerry Jones is one of the few owners out there who just doesn't care. He's got enough money. He owns probably the most expensive team in all of sports, other than maybe going to one of those soccer teams like Real Madrid or one of those guys. I think Jerry Jones is the last guy. Maybe I'm hoping that it's John Mara. Not that I think there's anybody changing the Giant name, but I think at some point somebody's got to push back on all of this. And
I don't. This is where it should start. Okay. You want to change the Redskin name? Like I said, go under it. Okay, no problem. We are simply Washington. That's it.
Yeah.
And then the next team that's forced, the Atlanta Braves. Okay, which is Atlanta. That's all. Atlanta.
Yeah, I mean, you can. You know what? You can. You know what? Get rid of everybody's nickname. Just call them the New York American League, New York National League, the Atlanta, the Milwaukee, and just do away with the nicknames. Again, part of the lore of your team, I know growing up is your team colors, your mascot, the logo. Listen, I don't like the Redskin colors. I think they're horrendous, but their helmet's pretty cool. I always thought their helmet was a decent helmet. There are some good uniforms out there. You want to start taking that away? Just make everybody's white jerseys and black jerseys all the day. That's it. No colors.
Pants with black numbers for away games. Home teams wear black jerseys, white numbers, white pants with a black stripe.
That's it. I mean, we've already neutered sports to the sense of, everybody has to be level. Why? If you build your team and you can create a dynasty like some of those dynasties from the 70s and 80s, more power to you. But we've neutered sports, and we're neutering the fans of sports, because I'll guarantee you, if there's a Redskin fan media place, I guarantee you that 95% of all Redskin fans are irate over this. I'd love to do that. I'd love to find that out. And I will, between now and Thursday, I'm going to look it up and see if I can find some fan sites and bring some of that data over here.
There has to be, dude. There has to be. How? You're a Yankee fan. You're a Giant fan. Mm-hmm. Okay? I'm a Ranger and Knick fan, right? For the most part.
Sure, absolutely.
Okay. So now, maybe not Rangers and Knicks as much, but definitely Yankees and Giants. All right. Now, here you are watching your team, and we just talked about it. What happens if they decide to change the New York Yankee names?
Yeah.
Like, what are you going to, whoa, what do you mean? How are you going to do that? This is the most decorated franchise in sports.
Yeah.
It's known the entire world knows that Yankee logo. How
Yeah.
are you going to change that?
Yeah, Jeff.
How are you going to change that?
Jeff, I don't know. That's the thing. Here's the thing. Here's let's take it out of sports for a second. So now we're in cancel culture. We're in that situation where anything tied to slavery, anything that reminds everybody of some sort of injustice should be abolished. I agree with it. You know what? I'm going to agree with it. Here's what I'm going to tell you. There was one party back in the 1800s who was for slavery, and it wasn't the Republicans. So if that's the case, the Republicans were against ending slavery, and they started the Ku Klux Klan. We should tear down the Democratic Party and throw them out. If you're a Democrat, you should resign, retire, and move on, and dismantle it, and then come up with something else.
Even if let's just say for some reason they listen to that, okay, all they're going to do is call themselves something else.
Good.
And it's gonna have the same fucking mindset.
No. I want them to have to actually go there and say, we're no longer the Democrats. We're now the jerk offs. Whatever you want to call themselves.
Whatever they call themselves, they're gonna have the same mindset.
I want them to have to actually sit there and defend it. Nobody's bringing it up. Just bring it up.
But I want to defend what though? What is it that you want them to defend? Their name, their stand.
Yeah. They want to get rid of all the statues. They want to get rid. Okay, no problem.
They think they're right.
No, I get it.
That's the thing. When
you
think that you're 100% right,
I get it.
There's going to be you can't explain it. You can't explain it to them. They hear it, and you can't let them explain it to you because their mindset is just so fucked up.
I'm telling you flat out, I will not. I'm going to start with this week's show, and I will all over Facebook. I'm going to do it all over the show. It may mean nothing, but I'm going to ask everybody for week 1. Do not watch any of the pregame shows. Let it go, because all we're going to be beaten over the head with social justice messages. They're going to do nothing but show the George Floyd thing. They're going to do nothing but talk about Black Lives Matter and all this. And I don't want to hear it for 3 hours on Sundays. I don't want to talk about social justice, politics, or anything else. The first guy to say it. So I'm telling you, guys, starting with Thursday's show, I'm going to be begging people. I watch the pregame shows religiously. I watch both of them, flip back and forth. I love the pregame show. I'm telling you guys, let's send a message. Nobody watched the pregame show. That's the way I look at it.
Do something. Once the name change is official, if it does go through, and it's going to go through. We know
it's going through. It's done. Yeah.
If once it becomes official, everybody on Facebook should throw up a Redskin picture.
Yeah.
Or make it your profile picture for a week, whatever. And just fight it that way, man.
Yeah, no, I think we have to start it up. Then I think we should. That's a great point, and I think that's something I'm going to do myself. Once this is announced, I'm going to start putting up the Redskin logo as my profile picture, and I'm certainly going to do it right before the season starts. So opening day, that should be the picture that shows up there for everybody.
Have to. It's disgusting. It's disgusting. Yeah. Because what's going to happen? Pancake syrup gone. Pancake syrup. All of these statues.
Well, you know what? I just bought a thing of Aunt Jemima. I don't know if that's the one or is it Mrs. Butterworth that's off the market.
Aunt Jemima.
Yeah, I just bought a box of it and a bottle.
Where did you get that from?
I want to say Walmart. I got it at Walmart.
I would like to get one just to have for nostalgia reasons.
I will pick one up for you. How's that?
Thank you.
You want the both, or you just want the cereal?
Dude, whatever you get is fine.
I'll pick it up for you. So yeah, but they still had a full shelf of all of it. I also went and bought a bunch of Goya products. So everybody, please support Goya. If you're buying beans, it doesn't matter to you. Buy Goya because they at least said go F yourselves.
Let me ask you something. I caught the tail end of that. I know what happened.
Yep.
But real quick. The president of Goya was down in Washington, D.C., pledged his support for Trump or something, from what I understand, because I refuse to follow this shit, and I refuse to follow a fucking argument about beans. I just refuse to.
Well, no, here's what happened. So the president, CEO of Goya went to Washington. The president had this council, kind of talking about making the Hispanic community better.
Yeah.
He brought
some kind of meeting or something, right?
Correct. So when the meeting was over, the guy went outside and said, "Hey, listen, I want to thank the president. He's doing a great job." and I support what he support the changes and the things he wants to do.
Okay.
All of a sudden,
nothing wrong with that.
right, and he did the same thing for Obama, by the way. When Obama did the same thing with him, he did the same exact thing. So all of a sudden, people like AOC and Chrissy Teigen and a bunch of them, Julian Castro, all came out and said, okay, we're going to boycott Goya because meanwhile, Goya's like, I think they gave out like $1 million worth of food during the pandemic. They donate to the Hispanic community. They have like 3,500 employees. Like they do great stuff. And all they said was that. And the guy came out and said, I don't care what you do. I'm not changing. I'm not taking it back.
Good for him.
Yeah. And I said, you know what? I'm going to support the guy because you know what? He had at least had the nerve to say, fuck you. I could care less what you have to say.
Yeah, because listen, one, they have certain products that are definitely geared towards the Hispanic community. That's fine. It is when you go to the grocery store, one of the only ethnic foods that is sold in just about every single major grocery store.
Yeah.
I don't see anything for Polish people or for French people or you know what I mean, or Canadians or stuff like that. This is a whole section, and it's not even that big of a section. So good for them. I'm glad that he's fighting back. This woman is so fucking stupid that you're gonna turn around and tell people you're fucking Spanish, you dumb bitch, and you're fucking telling people this.
Yeah, because
what's wrong with her?
That's the question of the day, Jeff. I don't know. And guys, we're here on a special edition of Monday night for a few more minutes, probably about another 15, 20. The Hard Rocket Sports Show live via our Facebook page. And you can also find us on our YouTube page. And coming this week, you'll find us on LinkedIn. So the show will be found in a bunch of different places. Yep, I'm going to put the show up on LinkedIn. We're being currently filmed onto YouTube and our YouTube channel. And of course, through our page here. So, big show this week coming up with Dave K. Starr and Ed Gage from Wolf Chamber, and our good friend, our new good friend is Rafael Esparza from mybookie.ag. Starting this week, he'll be coming on. He's the head odds maker there, and Rafael's going to come on every other week until the season starts, if we're watching it, and he will talk sports betting and odds and maybe political betting with Jeff and I each week. So make sure you tune in for all of that coming Thursday night. But Jeff, I don't know how to say it. I mean, it's a simple process. If you know what, here's the thing: if owners have decided to change their names through the course of time, things have changed, and I get that. If Daniel Steiner woke up one day and said, I'm tired of the name. I want to change it for. Look, I mean, the Washington Bullets changed their name to the Washington Wizards. Change their name. Take it to the fans. How do you think? What do you guys think? Is it bothering you? Do you want to change it? And they're the ones who paid the dollars and cents for this, Jeff. These are people who bought jerseys for 80-something years, have it tattooed on them, and have logos all over their house.
That's understandable. I hear you. And it's disgusting how it's going down. It really is. But you know what? Most teams that change names because they've moved from location to location. The Indianapolis Colts used to be the Baltimore Colts. They moved to Baltimore. They kept the Colts name. But then the Ravens came and went to Baltimore. So what did they do? They called themselves the Baltimore Ravens. The Indianapolis Colts also, if I remember correctly, took the Baltimore Colt records with them, didn't they?
The Baltimore Colts took the records, and technically they belong to the other side. They belong to the Indianapolis Colts records, or Baltimore Colts records belong to the Baltimore Ravens.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Oh, okay. I thought that they went with the Colts, the records.
They did, but no, not back to now. I don't know now if they recognize them in Indianapolis as their coach. I never checked it, but originally when the team went to Baltimore and became the Ravens, they took the records with them. Now I don't know if it shifted back when they brought the franchise back. I'm not sure about that.
I'm just curious because I know that a lot of teams like the Colorado Avalanche, they used to be the Quebec Nordiques.
Sure, absolutely.
And when they moved, the Phoenix Coyotes used to be the Winnipeg Jets, and now I believe the Winnipeg Jets are back in existence.
They are back in existence. Yes.
Another team that ended up the Atlanta Flames, was played at Atlanta, moved to Calgary, and was the only team ever named after a natural disaster.
Oh, really?
Yes, yes, that is a known fact there.
Uh,
And then when the Atlanta Thrashers came back into the league,
mhm.
of course they couldn't use the Flames because now they're with Atlanta Thrashers. Now I don't even think that they're in existence anymore. The Thrashers. I'd have to look.
I'd
I
have to
think
look
they
at that
became a
on top of
different
my head.
team.
I don't even, I'm not sure. But I mean, you've had the Minnesota North Stars moved to Dallas, became the Dallas Stars.
Yeah, and then the Minnesota Wild.
Yes, the Minnesota Wild came into existence.
Yeah, so like these teams have changed names, but the only other team that I know of that changed names
Mhm.
and stayed where they were was Washington. The Washington Bullets to the Washington Wizards.
Correct.
That's about it, as far as I know. And
Um.
actually,
Well, I mean, let's go back. You can go back to the Boston Braves became the Boston Red Sox, right? No. They're two separate teams. Sorry, no. I think they're two separate teams.
I
Sorry,
should
that's
say
not correct.
more modern times.
Yeah.
Modern times,
Um,
with our lifetime of watching.
Yeah, I'd have to think about that a little bit better. But yeah, I think that's one of the few teams that changed their names. And I heard it today for the first time that supposedly the owner of the Washington Bullets wanted to change the name because of the violence in Washington. He wanted to soften the name, and that's why they became the Washington Wizards instead of the Washington Bullets.
Well, you know what? That I could see being for the community. I could see that to a point. Okay.
Now, I don't think anybody's losing sleep over the Washington Wizards or Washington Bullets. I don't believe.
Well, there is no Wizards in Washington.
That's very true.
As far as the Bullets, that is a name that could have been construed for, but not for violence, maybe with violence. You know what I'm saying?
Yep, I got you.
But it's definitely not a violent name. But I could see maybe why they change it to soften it. That does make a lot of sense.
Again, I'm all for. Listen, if ownership takes over a team and they feel like they want to make the change and they take it the right way, and you go, if Daniel Snyder woke up one day and said, what, I think I want to change it. It's not happening that way. This was done. The team fans didn't get upset about this. This is a couple of corporate owners and the NFL pandering, and they just said, you know what, we're going to make the decision for a storied franchise, one I hate passionately, but a storied franchise, one that's been around for 87 years, have had tons of players come through, hundreds and thousands of players come through, and now some guy up in an office someplace who owns FedEx or runs Pepsi, they decided, okay, we're going to get rid of this nickname, and that's what bothers me. This is not the majority. This is the minority.
It should bother, yes, but the minority is now gaining steam and gathering together and slowly becoming the majority. And once people's wallets start getting affected, people are going to fucking start to change. And
I agree.
Point, and that's a lot about it.
That's what's going to take.
Pepsi. What was the other one you said?
Which what are you talking about?
You said FedEx, Pepsi. What was the other?
I don't know. There was a third one, and I think the guy from FedEx is actually a part owner of the teams, like a very minority owner.
Oh, wow.
There's a third. There's definitely. I know Nike was another one. Nike basically told them, "We're pulling all your products off our shelves." So Nike, yeah. Well, I agree. I mean, you know what? Better for Daniel Snyder. He could probably, anybody who wants to buy that stuff could have just bought it through his website. The team's website.
Yeah. Now I want to see what happens. Does this mean that there's not going to be any more throwback jerseys?
That's a great question. I guess if you're a fan of the Washington Redskins, you're never going to get a throwback jersey day.
No, it doesn't look that way. It doesn't.
Not for a long time.
No, we might not even be able to see that in our lifetime again.
Here's the question: now, you're going to erase all the old Joe Gibbs film days? Or if you're the NFL Network, are you going to show Redskin games on the NFL Network? Are we going that crazy with this?
If you're asking me, I would say no. I would not do that because this is games that some of these games are almost 90 years old.
Yeah, but I agree. But
I see that happening. Yeah, I see. Unfortunately, you may never see some of that stuff happen again for a very, very long time.
Yeah, I will tell you that. I guarantee. I got a feeling that you're not going to see Washington Redskin games shown on the NFL Network. I think maybe ESPN, when they show the highlights of the football games, they want to have cancel culture. They don't want to exist. I want to see what happens when they have to show them. Are they going to go back and doctor it, and where they say Washington Redskins? Are they going to bleep it out, or just say Washington? How deep does this go?
I don't know. I don't know about that, but I could tell you this much. I would fucking love to see fucking Haskins go
Mhm.
fucking tear and throw for about 7,000 yards this year so that they're in the fucking papers. They're in the news. Let that team, I know that it's not your team. I know it's your division. Let that team kick ass this year so that it's a way everybody has to talk about them.
Yeah.
That would be fucking great.
Yeah, yeah. I want them to have to go to Washington and interview the fans. And I didn't do it today and I am not gonna do it tonight, but tomorrow night I'm gonna spend some time tracking down some Washington fan social media sites and see what the Washington fans have to say about this. Because I got a feeling that there's 95% or better of them are going to be very upset with this, what's going on right now.
I want to see real quick. I don't know if I could even find it, but will there be a Washington Redskin Facebook page, fan page? Oh, look at it. Well, there's the fan page or the sports page. There's a statement. Yeah, there's still a couple. There's still a couple names out there.
Yeah.
Redskins. So that's good. That's good to see.
Curious to see what happens. I mean, listen. I think November. I don't want to get into politics tonight, but I think November, depending on what happens, if Trump would win, and I think he will, if he trounces Biden, I think that's going to send a big message to the counterculture people that we're out there and we're not having it anymore.
You could only hope.
Yeah, I'm just saying. I think that's.
But I think that's going to set them worse. Make it that much worse. I really do.
I got to be honest with you. I think right now people are so. I think they're thinking that Biden's got a chance to win, which I really don't think he has a chance to win. I know people are just. I'm telling you, there is such a fever for Trump out there for people, and you just don't listen. I think there are people who will run through fire to vote for Trump. There's not a human being alive who's that excited about Joe Biden being president. He may get in because enough people hate Trump. I don't know, but I personally think that in November, when Trump wins, it's going to send a message that we're done and we're not taking it anymore. Well, and I think that you'll get a little bit of a change then. If he loses, that's a big whole different other ball game.
I really honestly and truly think that Trump needs to come out, needs to say something to rally people.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
It's kind of quiet. I don't hear much in the way. I don't hear Biden saying anything, but then again, maybe the less he says, the better off for him.
That's what they're doing with him right now. Yeah, they're keeping him hidden.
And hidden and like bubble wrap so we don't fall and get hurt.
Yeah.
But Trump needs to say something to the people. He needs to stop aggravating people, and he needs to say something to the people. Like earlier tonight, I was watching TV and it said that, in California, my wife told me that her daughter lives in California. They're shutting down California again.
Yes.
Okay. So they're shutting that down again, which means that sooner or later, that's probably going to circulate and we'll get hit with it again, more than likely. You watch. But the point being is that he started arguing about Fauci and saying things about Fauci. Instead of just, maybe keep that kind of stuff behind closed doors. Yeah. Everybody has such a difference in opinion about this virus that, maybe that you don't like the guy, you don't want to say, just go down in the basement and scream about it all you want. Don't say it out loud. Don't say it to people and don't fucking tweet it.
Yeah.
Because now you got people that are on the fence and be like, this virus is real. They're closing California again. He's a fucking moron and I don't want to vote for him. He might lose followers that kind of way. And that
listen, there's no doubt, Jeff, that there are a segment of the population who doesn't agree with his message or the way he gets it out there. And I understand that. He's not going to stop. That's just who he is. He's a fighter. He's gonna Fauci says something or somebody says something, he's going to blast back. And there's nothing.
Being a fighter is one thing. Okay? Fighting about certain things right now at this point in time might not be the time to have that fight.
I'm not disagreeing with it, but it doesn't seem that he's going to back off of a lot of this stuff. And he's just going to fight it out. And, again, you're going to lose a piece of people. I think here's the problem. The message right now is the law and order, and people don't like it. people do not like right now what's going on with all the killings that they're attacking cops. I mean, 2 cops in Texas they went to answer I think it was a domestic issue. They opened the door and they got blasted by some scumbag. It's
and these scumbags, like right, 100 best fucking word for them, best name for them, are going to try to outdo what the last guy did.
Absolutely.
Okay, wait until they fucking call one of these cops into an area and just have a straight out ambush for them.
Oh, it's already happening, and right now,
I'm talking, Tom, when they call. Remember the cul-de-sac you lived on?
Sure.
Wait till something like that, and then they fucking pin them in, and then they just start fucking blasting.
Oh no, yeah, Jeff. Listen, I think at this point you're absolutely right, but here's the worst part: they're killing black people, and little children are getting killed, and no, I don't see anybody. All the left, all the Hollywood elites who were, when those school tragedies happened, and we're on TV. Oh, we got to take the guns away. We got to stop. I don't see any of them out there yelling at the black community to stop doing what they're doing. I don't see Black Lives Matter charging through Chicago, telling black people to stop killing each other. And that's where the message should be sent. That's where people need to be, and that's what needs to get done. And I think what's going to happen, I think sooner than later, if this doesn't end, if de Blasio's and the mayors of some of these other cities don't step up, I think Trump's going in. I think he's going to send the troops in. I think that's going to be his message.
I think that he's holding off on that.
Oh yeah,
because if he does it, he's liable to lose a lot of different people.
Sure,
I firmly believe and stand behind that kind of move. Okay, I don't believe that move should be questioned. If he wanted to send in 10,000 troops through Seattle right now, I'd applaud that. I really would.
And I think
you want to put New York City on lockdown from 8 o'clock at night on, I'd applaud that. Clean this fucking place up. You want to physically remove Bill de Blasio out of office and charge him with inciting, with saying defunding the police, I'd applaud that. Hang that motherfucker from a tree.
Yeah.
That's all I care. I could not.
Something I agree.
Done.
Well, you know what? Honestly, nobody's talking about it, but he came out with an executive order about 2 weeks ago and said, if you tear down a statue, 10 years in jail. Don't matter. It doesn't belong to you. If you tear down a statue that belongs to the federal government or anybody other government, and we catch you, you're going to jail for 10 years, and you haven't seen not one statue torn down. He put federal troops around them, and he said, I'm daring you to do it. And they all have, haven't seen nothing.
Because they can't get to the fucking statues.
Correct. But they
leave these fucking statues unmanned, and I bet you they'll try to take a chance. Nobody will. You have them manned, and there's people watching them.
I mean, not every one of them has troops around it, but I'm telling you, the ones in Washington, he put the troops around them, but the rest of them, he said, you gotta do whatever you want to do. I promise you. And they're catching them now, Jeff. They're catching these Antifa morons by a little tattoo on their wrist. They're catching these people. They're just going to their mother's basements and snatching them right out and putting them in jail.
And what are they asking for down in that basement?
Meatloaf, Bob! Meatloaf! That's what they're asking for, because that's the fucking pasty white little jerk-offs that we're talking about. Meatloaf! I hate them all. I swear to God, man. Oh, my God. Listen, you know what? Get behind the cause. I'm all for it. But you know what? I'm sorry. I just can't listen to some pasty little white kid tell me that the cops in New York City or anywhere else are racist. They're not racist. And I just...
There's a small handful of them.
Sure, of course there is.
Okay, nationwide. But you know something? We've been on this for 55 minutes. I know that you said that you were going to go in a few minutes. I just want to real quick change gears for 5 minutes here.
Go for it.
Last night, the text message went out. A new version of the Hard Rock and Sports Band, but not the Hard Rock and Sports Band. There's too many people that were in the Hard Rock and Sports Band that aren't involved in this project. But some of the original members of the Hard Rock and Sports Band will be joining forces with some other people.
Yes.
To start a new band.
Yes.
Now, I believe that when the time is right, maybe we should hold a contest to see who picks the name of that band.
I think that'd be pretty cool. That would be fun. I think that would be okay. I think we should do that. Yes.
because I'm going to just bring up one thing.
Huh?
In the movie Spinal Tap,
Oh,
they
yeah.
started to play jazz.
Yes.
They called it Spinal Tap Mach 2. Do you remember that?
You remember that? Yes.
Okay. I'm just wondering
Mm-hmm.
if maybe this band could go with Sacrifice Mach 2.
Oof, wow, that's a tall order for any band, Jeff, to meet those standards. Yes. Yeah. Listen, I was excited last night when we started to talk about it. I think it's going to be, everybody seemed to be interested. So that was a good part.
Yeah, still waiting for songs. These fucking dick. Nobody. If anybody can answer this real quick, why is it that when there's a band and there's a mass text that goes out, why can't anybody just fucking like, what songs do you want to do? Oh, how about this? How about that? We used to get from the Hard Rock and Sports Band. Anthony Carey was famous for this. How about You'll Never Find Another Love Like Mine from Lou Rawls, or something silly like that? It'd be like, Anthony, Hard Rock and Sports. Oh yeah, I forgot. Nobody could ever just turn around and say, "Hey, how about this song? How about that song?"
I threw one up and I got immediately.
The only one. Me and you were the only one.
The truth, we were the only ones to throw any songs out there last night.
What's that?
I said you're right. We were the only two that throw them out there last night, but we're gonna have to do something. So I have to.
So you're begging these people. You're like, I need to time to start learning the song.
Yeah.
Well, what the fuck are we gonna play in the studio, you fuckheads?
Yeah, I'm also trying to think like coming up like, all right, I'm officially saying it, and you and I think we've talked about this. The benefits are over. We're done with benefits.
Well, listen.
Wait.
Don't put it to bed. You never know what may come down the pike.
That's true. I'm saying right now, I am not ready to do a benefit. Now, if somebody comes to us or Jeff comes up with something, I'll always listen and be involved with anything Jeff wants to do.
Kittens that have kidney cancer that need dialysis. That's the next step.
I'm thinking rally. I'm thinking we're going to host a rally.
No, definitely.
Yes,
definitely.
we are.
I'm out.
Host a rally.
No, it's got to be out.
No, you got to be in. You're in.
You're
in always.
Why? Because this could end up being really bad, and my stuff is not getting lit up on Friday. That's what we're doing. You want to rent the back?
A Trump rally. It's not going to be a Trump rally. We're going to have a rally.
What rally it is? What rally it is?
Don't be a sissy. Don't be a sissy. We'll get asbestos.
See this? You know why? Long and white.
Why?
Wisdom. Okay.
We ain't going to have a rally of some sort. We're going to do something to rally. I don't know what it's going to be yet. We're going to have a rally. No benefits.
Hey, did I show you this?
I didn't see it. Oh, your watch? I saw your watch the other day.
Did I tell you about that watch?
You didn't tell me about your watch.
That's the same watch that the fucking Army guys wear.
It's the same one?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, the G-Shock watch. I could kill 9 men while wearing this watch.
I think you just did. Guys, but we'll be back Thursday night, 6:30 to 7 to 10. We'll be back on Thursday night to do this all over again. I'm sure we'll talk about this. I'm sure hopefully we'll get a little more info tomorrow in the newspaper.
That was 7 to 10 on the video show.
You know why? It was because I took a half hour to get the radio show cranked up to make sure it worked in case I had a reboot. So it gave me a chance to kind of catch my breath and do it the right way. With this, we could probably crank this up at 6:30 if you want to get this going right away.
Me. Either way works. Well, now starting, this will be the last Thursday I'm off.
Yeah.
And I'll be back to working 5 8-hour days.
Mm-hmm.
So then I could bitch. I bitched about working 4 10-hour days. Now fuck them. I'm going to bitch about working 5 8-hour days. That's how it is.
That's how it is, man. That's how it is. So, but we'll be back Thursday night, probably 7 to 10 right here. They're doing it all over again. Lots to talk about Thursday. Remember, Rafael Esparza, our good friend, head odds maker at mybookie.ag. Make sure you go out.
Is he going to be on every other week?
Every other week starting this week until the season. If there is an NFL season and we are paying attention, he'll be on every week at that point.
I'm going to have the far out bet of the week. Let him know. And every week that he's on, right, I'm going to do my best to think of a bet.
Okay.
To see like how far out, what is the one bet that he'll turn around and be like, nobody will that. No, we'll never touch that. And I'm going to try to make them as legitimate as possible. You know what I mean? But I'm going to see what he says. And every week I'm going to ask him, I'm going to come up with something for this week.
Okay.
Well, letting you know.
He'll be on with us. Rafael's a hell of a guy and fan of the show. And we're going to have him on every week to talk betting. And I actually opened up my account. Haven't made my first bet yet, but I'm close. I'm deciding which bets I'm going to make.
Oh boy.
So we're going to get out there and try to have some fun with that every week. So make sure you come back Thursday night. You'll never see the words "Hail to the Redskins" ever again on my screen. I hate the Redskins. They will be forever the Redskins on this show, or at least the Washington team. And it's no disrespect to any nickname they come up with for any reason. I just will not be pushed to acknowledge it by the cancel culture. Sorry.
There's only so much that we can do as fans,
Yep.
as the American public, to boycott and to protest certain things.
Yep.
So this will be our way to acknowledge them as the Redskins for as long as we can, and as long as we do this, as our way to protest the name change. I feel as though that we would have to do that with any sports franchise from here on out that may be forced to change their name. Unless that team, and even at this point in time, I wouldn't believe it anyway, but even if that team turned around and said, we just wanted to change our name. We didn't want to be known as the Chicago Blackhawks anymore. Which I don't believe.
I don't believe
now, even that, Kansas City Chiefs, just for example, what do you do with Arrowhead Stadium? Are you going to change the name of that too?
Listen, it's all coming, Jeff. I don't know. Again, I don't know how far. I don't know how much people get pushed. You need some owners to have some backbone, and we need the fans to rise up. And I'm telling you, I'm calling for it on this week, guys. This week, we're going to start out with something simple and easy. Week 1, everybody ignore the pregame shows. Ignore them. Let us see the ratings dip to 0. I hope everybody pays attention. We're going to spread the news. And I will tell you also, like Jeff and I said, I will, for week 1 of the NFL, I will have the Redskin logo in my profile picture.
I think you're going to see a change, Tom. I really do. I think you're going to see it. I think it's going to be a noticeable change at that.
Yeah.
I just don't think they're going to have the viewership that they've had.
I agree.
In the last couple of years. There's a lot going on.
Yeah.
It started way, way, way before the season started.
Yep.
You know, with thoughts, like I said earlier, of the Black Anthem, which is totally unneeded, just a national anthem. We don't have the white anthem. We can't have a white anthem. That's impossible. How are we going to have a black anthem? But I guess that's okay. You know what I mean? And just some of the other things that they want to do all stem because George Floyd got killed. You know, they piggybacked on that and just took it as far as it'll go. And it's time to stop. It really is.
I agree. And that's where we're going to start pushing it every week here. I wonder this, Jeff, last thing for me. I wonder if once the name is changed and if I were to use the Redskins logo as my profile picture, if Facebook would deny it as a racist symbol.
That is something that is big, because one time I found a meme that had a certain German fella on there, and I tried to post it, and I spent a couple hours in jail. I think that was a 12-hour stint.
That was a 12-hour
stint. It was like a drinking ticket. You know what I mean?
You got a desk appearance ticket.
Yeah, I sobered up. They let me out. You know, now I'm doing hard time.
Otis. Otis for a
couple hours. Drunk.
But I'm going to do it. But I'm telling you, starting this Thursday, folks, I'm going to spread the word. Week 1, we're going to bypass the pregame show, and we're all going to put up logos for the Redskins for week 1. I know we're not fans, but I think it's going to send a message. We have to do something. So we're going to try here at the Hard Rocket Sports Show. Jeff and I are going to try something to get the NFL to notice.
It's not a matter of being the fan of the team at this point in time. Okay, it's a matter of like what's next, and where does it stop? Okay, I could see if Derek Chauvin was a security guard at a Redskins game and killed George Floyd, and started using some Indian fucking chops or something on him or whatever, and they'd be like, okay, maybe we need to change the name. People are taking this too literally.
Yeah.
But it had nothing to do with one another, and that, like, how does this spread like wildfire and just engulf everything?
I agree.
It has to stop. Somebody has to put it out.
I agree, and I'm hoping it's going to be the Hard Rocket Sports Show. But I'm dead serious. We're gonna call for a national ban on the NFL pregame shows, and start with that as our message. And if they don't receive that, then we'll take it to the next level. We're going to try. We're really going to try here at the Hard Rock and Sports Show. We're going to ask you to share it. We're going to put it out there and try to get people to not pay attention for 1 week and let them know that we're the ones, the middle class, the unpolitically correct of us out there are the ones who are buying your product. And you know what? If we ain't buying it, you ain't selling it, you got big problems. So let's see if we can do some damage to the NFL.
Definitely.
Yep. So
that would be fascinating to see how much of these new age Democrats are the ones that are buying this stuff, going to these games, funding these players' salaries.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Don't lower this salary cap this year so that maybe next year you'll really fucking feel it.
Absolutely. So, but we'll come back Thursday night. We'll continue this conversation and more. And thanks for you guys stopping by and paying attention to what we're doing for the 1 hour we're on the air. And we'll look forward to seeing you guys Thursday, 7:00 right here on the Hard Rock and Sports Show. Have a great idea, and I'm glad we did it.
Yes, always fun, man. Always fun.
Absolutely. So, guys, good night. We'll see you Thursday night. Then stay safe. Enjoy the rest of your week. And make sure you check us out on hardrockandsports.com, the show's YouTube channel. And soon we're on Spotify, and soon to be you can catch the show on LinkedIn. So make sure you check us out. All right, Jeff, have a good night, brother. I'll talk to you tomorrow.
You got it, man. Later.